Come here and gather round, foretell this tale here found about our hero from the land of Poisonne, so pale and hair of white, born to the dead of night, with none but monsters and darkness to raise him low. From 'neath the boot of Inquisition, he will soothe their imposition. So cheer and tally-ho, a lot to know, we know, the legend known as Dirk and Friends.
One tiny problem soon would arise. Poisonne, a famous girl with fans and ferrets. She hated her voice and loathed how it sounded. So we asked for her consent. Well, more like we just went and posted it for all to hear her.
Which brings us to today, the final campaign day, the grand finale to our story.
Will they defend true love, of which this story's of? Is this the end of their siesta? How? A question still looms o'er our party.
Will Dirk and Bishop do the naughty?
Oh, a risky role we know.
Regardless, here we go.
The legend known as Dirk and Friends. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Terrible Warriors. I am one of the players for the game. I'll let our game master introduce the rest of us. I'm Justin Ecock, and the man running this show.
It is Will Mitchell coming to you from Edmonton. Yes, Love and Consequences, the big finale.
Dirk and Friends.
That's right, or as it is more commonly known, Dirk and Friends.
God damn it, Bree. What have you done?
So, providing the musical accompaniment for our unofficial song, also from the Edmonton area.
I'm Dirk the Bard from the Edmonton crew.
And then coming to us live from Toronto.
She needs no introduction.
Oh, Bree Poisonne, playing Dirk, surprise!
There's the
your
introduction.
Lord and Savior Dirk Weiss.
I already said hello, it's Justin. I'm playing Francesco Florento, the young Zorro who really wants to get out of Dirk's shadow because he'd be such a hero right now if it wasn't for him.
Uh-huh.
That's okay, I think I'm running off with the woman.
Meddling Dirk?
I was running off with the lady until her brother had to show up from the dead.
Yeah, I've had that happen too, buddy.
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
And it wouldn't be remiss unless we, of course, mentioned Jose Wick, played by Mike Dodd. Mike couldn't make it for our final episode of 7th Sea. If you've been following on Twitter, you may have known he's been going through some health issues. He's still in the hospital. He's recovering. He's going through his rehab.
Just get out of the ICU yesterday.
I think he just got out of the
just
ICU.
out.
So he's tweeting away. You can find the whole story out there. Mike, we love you. We miss you. We can't wait to have you back. And so, unfortunately, he wasn't available to record this episode, and we needed to get it out before the end of the year. So here we are recording the final episode. Jose Wick is still there. We'll narrate how his character works into our story. And
Fighting 20 men.
So in a way, hey, well, I'll dedicate this episode to Mike Dodd, and
Yay.
and really, it's just going to be hijacked by Dirk, so it doesn't matter what I say.
Sorry.
Will, I give you the floor.
Thank you, sir. So when we last left at the sort of bridal announcement fiesta of the Machado family, where young Ramon Machado was going to be sort of announced and presented to be wed to Bishop Adela Fierro, the party was going great. Our heroes were sort of mingling and meeting and sort of seeking out the truth of what's going on here. Just as Dirk Weiss was about to take the bishop to the church, where the bishop was obviously going to spill out her master plan.
Yes, her master plan. That's what we're going to call it. Ladies.
Spilling my master plan as they move your first sex tape.
The real Ramon Machado burst through the doors to his family's home and demanded his life back. With a busted cutlass in one hand, seaweed and salt water dripping everywhere.
Oh, we probably should have rescued him earlier.
And a fiery glare to the imposter that the bishop had used in his place. And that is where we left off.
I don't remember, Derek. Were you able to successfully turn Emiliano?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. The false Ramon has been turned to your side.
Doesn't matter.
By the machinations of
He has
Anna-Henrietta.
besmirched his honor. This calls for a duel. Oh, that's not for me to call, though. If only I was a member of the Duelist Guild. Damn you, Gerardo.
I was going to say, you can call it if you want, but you...
yeah, Gerardo's right there. I'll just take his pin. I'll just pretend to be him.
Yeah, that'll go
If everybody remembers where they're at.
Francesco is fleeing down the stairs. Dirk is in the carriage, and Anna is the only one actually near to him. Or isn't she?
Jose Wick is passed out underneath the punch table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fighting 20 men.
In the back, pounding back as much sort of fine wine and sangria as he can with the serving staff. All the bitter liquor has more or less been consumed at this point.
Same though.
Derek, is Jose Wick now the orc in the van at the end of the candy factory job from Shadowrun?
You mean Rash?
Yeah, is he now our Rash that we just activate at the end of the mission when we're ready to like, Hulk, go get him?
Well, that was Dodd too, so.
All right, cool.
So there's tradition. And so, yeah, this young man, the man who everybody had awkwardly been sort of, through social contracts and also the threat of immolation, been forced to accept as an imposter. The real deal has showed up and demanded justice. He's armed, he's upset, and the bishop, seeing Ramon out in his own sort of, under his own agency, her normally stone-like visage finally cracks into a passionate rage as she demands that the guards seize him.
Oh,
but
wonderful!
They're all drunk.
Your brother is back, Fernando. Or Pastora. I guess we won't be running off to be alone down in our
Did
safe
you just
house.
call your beloved
Anna?
by your own name?
No, Fernando's her father's name.
Emiliano by his ear and drags him over to Ramon.
Well, hold on. At this point, we're going to be breaking into an action scene because the guards may be drunk, but they are professionals.
And armed.
And so, although they will not do their jobs well, they'll still at least try to do their jobs.
Oh, dear.
Oh, okay. I have a good plan then.
All right, so
Me too.
let's have our approaches for the coming chaos. How would you like to sort of choreograph your action in the coming scene? Let's start with Derek. What are you thinking? You said you had a plan.
Anna is going to. I assume the music has stopped.
Of course. The 17th century equivalent of a record scratch. Definitely went on.
No, Anna is going to reach into one of the many secret pockets in her dress, pull out a bag of coins, throw it at the musicians, and shout something to the effect of "Keep playing, let us not ruin the moment." And I want to essentially create confusion as the musicians play and people start nervously dancing.
Okay, so you want to
and cover up my approach as I try to get to Ramon.
Gotcha. So you want to give yourself some room to move by creating chaos with the musicians.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be doing that with some money. So it sounds to me like you're actually using tempt as your approach here.
Play
Do I
something
get
fast,
any bonus
furious,
for being
and full of
rich?
romance.
Rich just gives you wealth to spend. And so in that case, you have 3 wealth that you can kind of spend how you want. And so, I mean, it's not necessarily going to give you a bonus, but it means that the fictional sort of actual license that you get from this attempt is on a much greater scale than from another person who is just sort of spending a few guilders out of pocket. You're offering a king's ransom if you want to spend a full wealth.
Sure.
Great. So yeah, you're definitely rolling panache, tempt for that.
And with the plus, do I get a +1 for the first roll?
That's right. You'll get a novelty die as well as the first time using it in the scene.
Great.
And so then again, I should have reminded because it's been like a month. The approach is like your general what you are sort of doing, not specific beat by beat actions. That comes once you generate your raises. Saying, I want to kick his butt. That's more of an approach. I punch him in the mouth. That's what you do with a single risk or with a single raise, right? Yeah. All right. So moving on. Let's go with Bree.
Hi. I mean,
You're in the carriage with the bishop.
I'm in that carriage.
All hell's about to break loose. What is our hero Dirk going to do?
Who is a hero?
Yep, just the hero-iest of heroes. I'm gonna hide like fuck. Just
right.
gonna hunker down in this carriage. It looks like a solid carriage.
No.
Like, what is this? Solid wood? Like, this is great.
Oh yeah, no, it's nice mahogany and stuff.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful in here.
It's quite nice.
You are the worst. Dirk.
Yeah, I'm gonna literally hide behind the bishop.
Oh, you are just
All right. Well,
worst.
that behind the bishop, I'm going to say that's probably a finesse hide roll.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. Cool. All right.
All right, and I'll give you the novelty die and the first description die as well.
Oh yeah.
So get that ready for your dice pool.
I'm always novel.
How
Is
many?
there any way I could spin this as convince rather than tempt? Because I'm trying to convince them to keep playing and the dancers to keep dancing.
Well, the reason I went with tempt instead of convince is because the sensible thing to do right now would be to fucking run, because like knives are coming out, people drunks are going to start shooting. It's probably not going to be a very safe place to be.
This is how a mariachi band ends up like dead, shot by like a musket ball.
and so tempt is like convince, but it's usually used when you're trying to get somebody to do something that's not a good idea. Which is generally what this is. If you can figure out a different way to frame it, though, I'm very open to variations.
And you're tempting them with
my
a bribe,
convince is
right?
1 point higher, so I'm trying to figure out a way to use that instead. But
hey, there's nothing wrong with trying to squirrel up a higher roll. I get you.
This is the Don's party, and you will not stop.
Yeah,
trying to convince them of
exactly.
their duty.
But it's also that these are Castilians. This kind of shit happens all the time, though. That someone shows up.
It
to a
wouldn't
party
be a
and
Castilian
demands
fiesta without a
satisfaction.
duel in the middle of the
You know,
party.
it's Tuesday.
But again, the powerful inquisitorial bishop demanding he be seized.
But that's like just throwing any kind of drunk or anything out of a party.
That's just.
You know what? That is true. That is true. That we as players and me as the GM, I know that shit's about to get hairy because there's going to be more resistance than you'd expect. But the partygoers, they don't know that. Yeah, if the Inquisitor says seize him, he gets seized. That's the end of story.
And
So
the music
you know
keeps
what?
playing
I
immediately.
think a convince is actually reasonable. You
Awesome.
have persuaded me.
Nice.
So then, Justin, what is your approach?
So Francesco was just running down the flagstones with Pastora on his at his hand. Gerardo's still wearing his fancy hat, which, by the way, under wealth, I just have written fancy hat.
Yeah, he really
that is
does.
my only wealth.
That's appropriate. That's appropriate.
So, I imagine as soon as this happens, Pastora is like pulling back in the other direction because she's seen and heard everything. Just like the bishop, I imagine, is out on the other side of the front where the carriages are, and we're going down a footpath.
You're going down a side path.
But we both hear from the same earshot. I mean, we didn't get that far. We were just running out the door. So she stops and hears her brother, the man we're supposed to be here rescuing, say, "We've stolen your life." She's not running anywhere. And Francesco's like, no, I was this close. So now I have to defend true love because I have kind of been saying that for the last 3 hours.
Yeah.
So it's time to put up. So, I guess I'm going to draw out my sword, this fencing sword that I've used so successfully to steal at least one fancy hat in this game.
It's one more fancy hat than anyone else has stolen.
To put myself in front of Pastora, in like a protective stance, right?
You can't see this, but I'm rolling my eyes really hard.
Dirk is like, oh, because he's watching from the carriage, going like, oh god, because I have to still play this hopeless young Zorro. So I will have to defend Ramon's honor. And intervene between any approaching guards, between him and like the guards that are running towards him. They're running towards, so hopefully their backs are to me, so they'll never see me coming. So
Gotcha.
I'm going to try and ambush the guards that are running towards Ramon and dispatch them.
So you're trying to ambush them. You know what? Since you're being sneaky, I'm going to let that also be a finesse hide roll.
Finesse is great. Hide's not so awesome, but that's okay because none of them are great. It's most, but
None of them are
perform
great.
and weaponry are like my highest. Perform, weaponry, and athletics. So don't worry. I'm sure I'll run athletics into it.
I'm sure next round all of those.
But finesse
will come
is
into
one of my
play.
highest traits, so I'm cool with finesse and hide.
Yeah, and of course, you get a die for describing it, and the novelty die is your first time doing it.
Now, finesse is a rank 3. Does that mean I get the option of re-rolling a single die?
That applies if in your skills,
In my skills.
not from your traits.
Okay, cool.
Oh, That's why I also wanted convince, because I do have it at 3, so I get to.
It is nice to have that one extra reroll. Yeah.
I know it's so hard being a professional, isn't it?
I mean, why are you looking at me? I wouldn't know.
So do I get
All right,
a bonus?
Before you roll,
do I get bonus die?
I gotta lay out the consequences and show you what you're up against. So, in here there are 3 brute squads of 10 guards each.
Jesus.
Drunk off their faces.
Oh my God.
10 guards. 30 guards.
30 guards.
Yeah, again, one brute isn't necessarily one guy, but yes, there are about 30 guards in the room.
Look, I made a great choice.
Drunk as hell. But still armed and still dangerous. So you got, 3 brute squads, 10 strength. The bishop, of course, is present. Captain Silva is present. Don Machado is there.
They're all here.
The whole gang's all here.
Yeah.
Like, we've all gathered here for this finale.
Indeed, it's so convenient. I wish somebody had planned this. So some consequences of what's going to happen.
Okay.
As swords get drawn, there's going to be a panic. That's going to sort of make moving around hard.
Oh, man,
Innocent folks are going to get hurt as they freak the fuck out.
I'm way ahead of you on that one.
Yeah, that's a thing to consider as a possible consequence of the cunning action. As well, it is entirely possible that the bishop is going to seize. The bishop is going to get control of young Ramon. That is straight up a consequence of what's going on here.
Not under my watch.
And as a heads up, that's a consequence that's going to probably keep reappearing, and at certain times maybe even get harder.
Okay.
As well,
we do have Geraldo.
What's that?
We do have Geraldo.
You do have Geraldo. Let me get to the opportunity.
I don't know what the rules of engagement are for a member of the Duelist Guild, though.
They get pretty awesome. Geraldo's pretty cool. Okay, so you got panic. You got the bishop gets Ramon. You have the doors get sealed. Right, they could just seal you all in. And I'm going to put one more consequence on this. And that is going to be that the crowd kind of goes with it. They turn on you. They're going to side with the Inquisition. Rather take this fake Ramon guy and just do what the Inquisition says and, not get dragged out of their house in the middle of the night and burned alive. So they That
sounds like Dirk's plan.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be honest, it sounds great.
So the crowd could turn on you.
Okay.
So that's the negative things that I foresee happening that you'll need to spend raises to deal with.
Can I just say real quick, I've had only one consequence for this entire game, and it's the fucking sword of Damocles hanging over my head that one day I'll just get Dirk taken away because I'm not enough of a hero. That's
one of these days.
That's the only thing I've been worried about all game.
So then some opportunities. You could get the crowd on your side.
Mm-hmm.
So if you spend one to sort of make sure they don't turn on you, you can get at least some of the crowd on and helping you and actively sort of being a useful thing for you. Additionally, I believe when I described this place, I mentioned that it was a pretty sort of typical, lovely sweeping stairs, nice big ballroom.
I have it drawn.
You do have it drawn. And so obviously there are numerous chandeliers and convenient handholds and curtains. These are things the game presumes, but I'm specifically calling out the giant, gorgeous chandelier over the right over the entrance. You can use that to your advantage.
I'm so ready for this. I've watched Phantom of the Opera so many times.
Ruby. And then one other additional opportunity, because 3's a number that appeals to me.
Are there side rooms?
Yes, there are. There are sort of like side wings, right?
I mean, for instance, if I wanted to, say, drag someone off and open a portal and step through it with them, are there...
there's definitely convenient nooks and crannies for that.
Excellent.
I'm thinking another good opportunity. A good opportunity is that you will find out something the bishop doesn't want you to know.
Oh, you are...
The bishop's got a secret. If you spend a raise on that, you're going to get access to said secret.
Ooh.
Then all right. Dirk's got a new plan.
Dirk is super into secrets.
All right, so now please roll your dice, and let's see what happens.
Oh, wow! I don't know if those are good. I rolled 3 6s.
Okay, remember, you're looking for 10s.
Oh,
so you want
damn
to
it.
have any dice that add up to 10, that counts as a raise.
Any 2 pairs, or can 3 count?
Any dice at all. You could roll 10 1s, that's 1 raise.
Okay.
If you roll 2 5s, that's also 1 raise.
Damn it, because I rolled like a bunch of 1s, so unfortunately those 6s didn't fill up to 10s. But I do get 2 pairs.
So did I.
Okay,
Matchies.
so I'm
High
hearing
five.
2 raises,
4.
4 raises.
Oh, look at you being a fucking overachiever over there.
Well, let's see how the villains do.
Oh dear.
And I just have a hanging die off to the side.
And yes, hanging die, because I can buy those.
Oh, I can.
But
Am I? Oh, I can't re-roll them. Never mind. You can
That's
buy
to
them.
get a hero point, right?
that's right.
I also,
Yep,
in
buy
that
that.
case,
Buy that die.
I
Give
have
me
1
3 hero
leftover die
points.
as well. Then. Will.
We shall see. We're gonna wait till things get hairier. All right. So Don Machado, sadly, only has 3 raises himself, but the bishop. Oh, the bishop. And the bishop rolled just dog turds.
Oh, yes. Woman after my own heart.
I mean, that said, she also does have 4.
Oh.
And
A
then
woman after my own heart.
I always was attracted to
Captain
strong women.
Silva. Old Captain Silva. And Captain Silva has 3. So that's good to know. Sorry, folks. All right, so he's got 3. We've got the bishop with 4. Don also had 3. All right, and then I'm going to want to get your guys' totals as well. I missed them when you said them. We had 4 from
Anna.
Anna.
Francesco got 2 raises and has 1 leftover die.
Nice.
Dirk has 2 raises and no leftover die.
Nice. You guys. Okay, well, bad guys go first.
Yeah, they do.
And so the bishop is going to spend one of my 3 danger points I get for there being 3 heroes present. The bishop's going to spend one of those and spend one of hers to apply pressure to this scene. In this game, pressure basically ups the cost of doing things if you don't basically do what the person applying pressure says. So the bishop is, again, frothing at the mouth and railing. She is losing her mind with anger. That cool composure she had before, totally an illusion.
Still into it.
She's still friendly towards me.
Oh, she's still friendly towards you. But she's going to sort of shout out, "None of you touch the heretic! Guards, take him away! Out of the way, everyone!" Essentially, she's demanding that everyone basically stay out of the guards' way. Nobody touch him, let the guards take him. Is what she's doing. So the first time in the scene you want to do anything that isn't that, you have to spend an extra raise to break the pressure.
Jesus.
Okay.
That's how pressure works. Groovy. So, and of course, because she's a bad guy, she can do it to all of you at once, as opposed to heroes who generally do it to one person at a time. Great. So that was the bishop. She falls to 3, and at 4 we have Anna.
Anna's going to rally the crowd. But I'll spend the 2 raises to get them into the guard's way. That this is... The sham is up.
Okay. And do you have like any nice speech to add on to that? Flower that up a little?
No, I draw the one of the daggers from inside my hair, put it to Emilio's side, and suggest that he may want to declare that it's all been a sham.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? He was sort of thinking that, okay, I'm going to
slip him a coin purse while I do it.
Oh, beautiful. He was going to make sort of like he was going to beat a hasty retreat, right? Because he's like, I was definitely caught doing something.
I imagine that she probably catches him as he's turning around, just so that he feels just the tip of the knife.
Yeah, and he sort of stops.
Whispers in his ear, "Monsieur, now may be a time to confess your sins, oui? and then slips some coin purse into his other hand and turns him around.
Beautiful. The coin purse going into his hand cuts dead the like super dirty look he was going to give you about the confession of sins and like with the Inquisition around. But the coins make everything better. Yeah, he spins around and goes, "Yes, I'm sorry, I was put up to this. I'm obviously not him." He shouts out to various sort of like half-feigned gasps.
We had no idea.
I'm supposed to be surprised, I guess.
Shock.
Beautiful. So that bumps you down to 3.
And then she just spins. She steps away from him as if, mon Dieu, he is not who he says he is.
Nice. Got to play that part. Got to play the game.
And then give him a
also
slap.
taking the knife from his back so that he can now run.
How dare you?
How dare you? Slap.
Yes.
Yeah, a gentle smack across the face.
Take your glove off and just slap him with it.
The knife goes away.
How rude.
Great. So at this point, Don Machado is going to draw his like old nice sort of saber and say, damn you, boy. Everything was going to be perfect, you fool. You have been nothing but a disgrace and an embarrassment to me since the day you were born. Out of the way. And he starts pushing his way through the crowd to confront his son. He's obviously got beef with him. He's again getting pretty worked up. He's old though, but that doesn't stop him from coming up and with his other hand that doesn't have the saber in it, slapping Ramon across the face, dropping him the 2 and doing a wound to Ramon.
Oh my gosh. Father of the year.
Right? These guys are... It's the sort of family where you would really want to escape across the border in a wagon.
Whoops.
That's okay. A boat's going to be a much more comfortable ride, and it's not as far of a journey across the mountain.
You guys have a good plan.
Look, it's a good thing. It's a good thing I stopped everything to bring them back here so that they could hash it out as a family, okay?
Exactly. This
Dr. Dirk.
Family therapy.
You're the Dr. Phil of 7th Sea.
I'm into it.
There you go.
I love it. All right. Also on 3, we've got Captain Silva. Captain Silva also draws steel.
Ladies.
And he is focusing quite heavily on where Francesco had gone. Because he knew you had escaped up the side. He was the only person who really hadn't been fooled.
And that
by
very
the hat
distinct...
switch.
Oh, he was not fooled by the giant feathered hat switch?
No, he was not fooled by the giant feathered hat switch.
I mean, I guess he is like a world-class pirate, so he would know.
Yeah, he's
If anyone knows about feathered hats.
Exactly.
This isn't his first shell game.
And so he begins to make his way towards that door. And as you are now making your way back into it, he levels his sword at you and says, "En garde," and thrusts at you. Now, the unfortunate thing is that Captain Silva is a duelist.
Yeah, of course he is.
And so he is going to do some serious damage to you.
Yeah, he is. He is. That's why I was doing the hide.
Oh, it's
move.
just, it's too bad
So-
you don't have your best friend, the Ison, around. I would help so much. It's too bad.
You're not a
If
duelist
only.
either. You're not going to be much help.
Yeah, but look at me.
So he's going to do 3 wounds to you.
There's no chance of me spending a hero point to Disarming Smile, eh?
At this point, a little late for that.
You just start and he just stabs you.
I wish I'd been rolling weaponry. I would have gotten an extra die. Okay, fine.
All right.
This is the death of
and
Francesco.
So then, now we're down to the bishop, because again, villains go first. The bishop's sort of seeing all this. She's going to turn to Dirk and say, "I'm terribly sorry. This is very complicated. I need to. We are going to have a new guest for our evening." And is going to draw a little stiletto out from her scarlet red robes.
Super into it.
And make her way up behind Ramon. And just put the dagger to his neck.
Into it.
Basically.
How? But he came in an opposite way from them, didn't he?
She's real
No,
good.
it was all just through the main entrance.
Yeah, it's all through the main as they were getting into the carriage.
He was climbing
I have
through the
it
bushes
drawn.
and he just
I have
went
it
through the
drawn.
front doors.
There's like one entrance, and that's pretty much it. I remember asking specifically so I could draw it.
We're all just coming in and out. We're now fighting. Like I'm fighting on the flagstones in front of the entrance with Captain Silva, and then the bishop has just passed us and gone straight to Ramon, who's standing in the entrance of the great entrance foyer.
Yeah,
this is all happening around one big door.
Yeah, there's the big doors that are like the entrance, and then like if you imagine like a oh god, I can't remember the term for it now, like a privet door, the sally port. Yeah, there's basically like a door on the side of the like foyer that sticks out from the building. So like there's the grand entrance, and then there's a servant's entrance on the side right next to that. But effectively, they're the same door, right? And so, yes, that's what's going on for our listeners at home. That is the bishop going up, puts the dagger to his neck, and just says, relent. Groovy, Anna.
Oh, yes.
Anna's going again?
I'm going to get the crowd on our side.
Oh, right. Good. They're at 3. We haven't gotten to 2 yet.
She just flutters her fan, which she produces a fan and flutters it. And she's going to just start the whispers across the crowd to turn them against the bishop.
Nice. What sort of things are you going to whisper to
Mon Dieu, what a scandal! How can they possibly go with this charade of a marriage now?
Ah, very nice.
How much she must want this place if she is willing to pay an impostor? How scandalous, as she is at maximum Frenchness.
Maximum Frenchness.
Everything is more scandalous in French.
And maximum Frenchness is very effective. The crowd that can hear you is definitely on your side.
Well, I'm kind of trying to get it so that it'll just start rippling through the crowd now.
Absolutely, it is. When somebody spends the extra raise to keep people from the crowd from turning on you at all, then you will have effectively sort of beat that.
Okay.
Yeah. Groovy. We're now on 2. Francesco and Dirk, whoever wants to go first between the two of you.
Oh, I have no idea what to do. Dirk, please.
Oh, God. I was going to say go ahead because you're actively being stabbed.
I'm actively being stabbed. And other than actively continue to be stabbed, I'm not sure how to, like...
He needs a minute to continue actively being stabbed.
No worries.
Disarm him.
Keep in mind what your approach is, right? Mm-hmm. That dictated how you were coming at the scene.
Well, that approach is out the window.
It focuses what you're doing.
Yeah, right? I know. My approach was to
GTFO.
ambush the guards that were approaching Ramon. That's out the window because Silva has pointed me out, has a sword to my throat, and so...
Well, the skills you were using for that was like the essence of your character using for that was his finesse and hiding. Right,
well,
you're
look,
being
you have a whole person to hide behind. I don't know what's wrong with you.
So I just need a moment to think sneaky. I don't know how to think sneaky.
Oh yeah, no, of course, it takes time.
Okay.
So on that note, Dirk, what are you up to?
Well,
you're also being sneaky.
I am in this fine carriage, and the bishop has left me alone in this fine carriage. So I'm just gonna reach out with my foot and very gently close the door. First, because the door is heavy, 10 out of 10 between me and everyone with knives. And then I'm going to start rooting through the carriage as fast as I can, since you hinted that there was some kind of a secret.
All right, so you're going to spend you're going to spend the bishop's you're going to spend a raise on the bishop's secret. You're going to find out what it is.
Yeah, I'm digging through the carriage.
Great. I love it.
Just opening up all the luggage.
Yeah,
and going
opening up all the luggage and pulling out all the underwear and tucking that one away. That's for later.
So you're pulling out the small clothes and you're rooting through things, and you're doing it subtly, right? You're not exactly.
Well, I did close
the place.
Well, yeah, I'm not trashing it, but I did close the door so that no one would just look over and see me. But yeah, exactly. The carriage isn't shaking.
There's not going to be much evidence of what you've done. As you toss the place. There is a small sort of valise case that's in here. In it, you find sort of the things you would expect a bishop to be carrying. There's a book of the Common Prayer, and there's the 4 vigils, right? The sort of Bibles of the Vatican Church. These are things that no priest would go anywhere without, of course. There's a little flask of what you presume is holy water.
And Dirk is just like, boring. Like,
boring.
Drinks flask.
You pull out, yeah, take a sip of the flask, maybe.
Boring.
Yeah, if you're considering taking a sip of the flask, you're sort of about to do that as you pull out like another little leather case. That as you sort of like flip open the top on it, is like an intricately sort of laid out row of bottles that like is obviously poison.
So I shouldn't drink this one, is what you're saying.
It's just no longer a certain thing. Yeah, there's a variety of substances are not safe. Kept in nice, neatly labeled bottles, along with like some implements that are sort of laid out in a separate roll in the bottom of this little case.
It's a good thing they're actually labeled because my notice is 0. So like I would have just been like, woo, booze.
And so yeah, you find a bag of torturers' tools and poison.
Awesome.
But again, Inquisitor, not necessarily that weird.
Mm-hmm.
What is weird, when you get to the very bottom of this little valise, you find that there is some papers that look fairly normal, but as you rifle through them, there's a lot of writing in Montagnois, like in the language of Montaigne.
Oh.
She's been corresponding with people in Montaigne, which at this time has been excommunicated.
Oh, scandally.
And as sort of the battle heats up outside and you hear Francesco scream as he gets stabbed. Just like that.
God, that sounds like my good friend.
Yeah.
I'm like still sipping
eyes,
holy water, like with my pinky up, just like,
Your eyes sort of fall across the basic details that there are priests that are still in Montaigne who very much want extra support from the church. And although the church is sort of doing everything that it can to sort of care for the common folk of Montaigne, the Inquisitor, it seems, the bishop, she's actively involved in sort of shipping people into Montaigne as spies and saboteurs. That's why she wants Montonen so bad. This is not necessarily just a good place to be a fortress of inquisitorial influence. It's a great place to train spies and then take them on the admittedly short trip across the bay into Montaigne, where they can then hide out amongst the populace and be horrible murder assassins.
God damn it. I just wanted to get my dick wet, and now I've uncovered a fucking human trafficking scheme.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Hate when that happens.
I know, right? Like every other Wednesday. So that was Dirk. Have you had any luck coming up with what sneaky thing you're going to do there, Justin?
Well, it was sneaky, but also with finesse, right? And looking through here, finesse helps you get across a burning room, dodging burning debris, fencing, picking pockets, other problems that can't be solved with speed and dexterity. Because I've been kind of caught flat-footed here, and I'm getting stabbed. Like, I'm bleeding. Oh, my God. And and I just need to get away. So I'm thinking back to our first episode with the dust and the distraction. I'm on steps. I mean, Is there anything around like a candle or
potted plant,
like a potted plant or something?
There's definitely torches. There's definitely potted plants.
That I can just
Obviously, there's ivy growing over the front of the building.
Just something that I can knock over just to create embers or sparks or a debris just to blind for just a second, because that's all I need is a second to be able to then duck off into once again into the crowd, get my hat back from Geraldo, and then work my way up into like the rafters or somewhere. Just get away from this crazy pirate man who now wants to kill me because he lost at a dance. It was just a dance. He doesn't know anything about me.
So as you're sort of looking around, there is a torch that is sort of got lots of ash on it. If you were to knock it down with your sword, it would certainly cause a shower of sparks you'd use as cover.
Yeah, so then I'll spend the raise here for my using my sword and knock the ash and the embers that are in that torch up and between us and hitting the ground and spraying around and in the flash and the debris and hopefully getting in the smoke in the eyes into the bushes
Nice.
and off to a window.
Leap into the bushes heroically. I love it.
and then like scurry away.
Damn it, that's
Great.
generally mine. What are you doing?
No. Listen, I'm not running away and then going to take the credit afterwards. I'm running away to get inside the building before they close the doors, because I could see Ramon has being captured by the bishop, and I need to get to him. So I'm trying to work my way in through one of the other areas into the ballroom.
Yeah, you want to get around the one-man army and get to the objective.
And just slip free. I'm sort of seeing Silva isn't an opponent so much as a trap that I've been snared in, and I'm trying to just slip free of that trap. And then
I think that's a pretty reasonable assessment.
I'm not going to be able to defeat him. He's just a slip knot that I need to get away from.
All right, so Anna.
Well, if the crowd is starting to be on my side, can I work my way towards the bishop and Ramon through the crowd?
I think that's totally reasonable.
Will that take the raise, or can I use the convince there to shout out to her?
You could certainly shout out to her without necessarily getting close.
Yeah, I do want to kind of get close, though, because I have a plan, but it requires me to actually get my hands on him.
Nice. Yeah, so yeah, you can get close. Go for it.
Yep. And Anna steps forward and, hand to breast, dramatically gasps and flutters her fan. She is obviously just horrified by all these goings on. Mon Dieu, but what do you swear by with the Vatican Church?
You could swear by the cross. Yes, I'm not really sure
Thea,
what they
just
do
swear
for
by
their
Thea.
mass.
Hand to breast, surreptitiously flips through a couple of the different necklaces and medallions that she's wearing under it, pulls out one of the little crosses, and just hold it, just fluttering. Just Mon Dieu, by the cross, Bishop. How can you hold a knife? He is to be your husband, is he not? Obviously, just horrified and scandalized, and oh my God, what has she gotten herself into the middle of now?
Beautiful.
Look, Anna's
and
really
trying to
Anna's
keep the bishop
really
distracted
judgy.
and talking. Pardon?
Anna's really judgy. What if he's just into it?
Okay. So I think the clearest thing for that, I think you're spending your raise to get rid of the bishop gets Ramon consequence.
Yes.
That's a smart one to do. Great. So the bishop is not going to get Ramon this round. Great.
And it's also kind of getting with the crowd as well that, she started some rumors and now she's just sort of deliberately pointing it out.
Yeah, exactly. You suggested it, now you're like saying it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Leading by example, as always.
Leading by example, as always. So Don Machado is going to sort of cuss out his son some more. Basically saying, we had the opportunity to do our country proud. You could have still seen your stupid Montaigne boy. You think that your mother was the only woman I've seen? Come on, grow up. And he's going to thrash him some more.
Way to air your dirty laundry in front of the whole town, Dad.
Yeah, Jesus.
I know, right? Privacy hasn't been invented yet, apparently.
This is getting good. Dirk's into it.
You're just eating popcorn in the back of the carriage.
at this point, I'm just like a man.
Wait, no, that's the poison you found.
Oh, damn it. Not again.
The bishop is going to intervene between the Don and Ramon and sort of pipe up that clearly, Don, your son has been influenced by heretical Montaigne as she shoots an ugly look to Anna-Henrietta. And in the interests of keeping the peace here, I was to deal with this privately. But I see that the light of Theas has brought sin to the vision of all, and so our peace must be challenged. As she, again, is sort of looking around at the guards. and she's managed to make basically a small sort of fortress of dangerous people between Ramon and everybody else, with her and the Dawn sort of at the head of it, and then the guards are starting to come in towards the sides. Captain Silva sees his prey leap off into the bushes. He's going to pick up the guttering torch that you tossed at him as he's sort of coughing and wiping some of the ash out of his face.
I am so clever.
And yeah, he's gonna just huck it real hard at you.
Oh, good. You jumped into the flammable thing.
Now I'm on fire. Yay!
The torch is guttering, right? Smashing it to the flagstones, basically put it out. Made a lot of smoke, a lot of ash. Silva's not looking so great. You're going to take 1 wound, but he's basically bashed you.
How many wounds did I take?
You took 3 earlier.
Next time you would inflict a wound, you're going to inflict 1 less wound.
Yay.
For somebody who's not a duelist, that means you're basically not going to inflict any wounds.
No. Geraldo, I need you.
Help.
All right. Let's go back to our heroes. Dirk, Francesco, or Anna, what do you guys want to do?
I have an idea.
Keep in mind, there are still consequences that are on the table here.
Yeah.
Right? When we get to 0, the crowd's going to panic at this moment. The guards are going to seal you in. And in that panic, the guards are going to turn on you, or the crowd's going to turn on you. Not all of them, but some of them.
Can I turn the rest of the crowd?
I have an idea. I kind of have an idea for that.
Okay, I'm going to use my last raise then and turn the rest of the crowd.
Great. So you're just sort of going to keep on the vein you had been on, right?
Well, I've already set things up. I've set the rumor. The rumor started to permeate. I've called her out on it. And she's had to respond. And I think at this point it's time for the town to pull together.
Nice.
And they've already heard Emiliano's confession.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my doing.
All right. Yeah. So you just, say this is all malarkey. And the last few people who were on the fence were like, yeah, this is horseshit. Great. Francesco or Dirk, what's going to go on with y'all?
So, the rest of the crowd has already turned, but, let's be honest here. Dirk has, basically 0 notice, so he has no fucking idea. He's just
you
gonna...
You just sealed yourself in a carriage. You don't know what's going on.
No, I have no idea what's going on. So I'm gonna pick up all of the letters that are, the smoking gun of well, you've been doing a thing you shouldn't have done, and pick them all up and just come basically kick open the door to the carriage and come fucking swaggering out as Dirk do.
Oh, the famed folk hero Dirk.
The famed folk hero. Hello.
Everyone heard you being announced to the party.
Women and men alike swoon.
Yeah, and just
Dirk.
And basically just be just start reading aloud. From the letters, right? Just oh, look what I found here. It says here that, you've been conversing for 6 months with these people who've been excommunicated. And just goes down the whole list, just
Start handing them out like flyers.
Just handing them to people nearest.
Anna's memorizing all of this and snatches a few of them as people start looking.
Yeah, just kind of making it rain incriminating letters.
Stuffing them away into her bodice.
I love it. Okay, so you make it rain with shame. Excellent. That's what Dirk do.
That is what the Dirk do.
Francesco.
God, I'm just trapped. So I'm at this. I'm not inside, am I? I'm still. I haven't.
You are still outside.
Fuck me. I have to.
Again, I'm spending my. He's hidden in the bushes. He smacked you with he tossed the torch at you, but you can still probably get around him.
Can I spend raises for things like, Geraldo, I choose you, and just call him in like a Pokemon?
Well, something like that in this would be sort of creating an opportunity, right? Yeah.
Never mind. This is just none of this is something that I wanted to be in on. So I'm stuck with this man who is going to kill me, and I wanted to just get inside the ballroom. And I.
Well, you can still just sneak past him. That's not even going to cost you a raise, really.
Oh, okay. Well, then I sneak past him.
I do that.
inside.
All right, so you're gonna run around him and get inside, and then what are you gonna do?
So inside, the bishop is no longer with Ramon. She's like stepped out and is addressing directly to the dawn.
I mean, I assume she's like just staring daggers at Dirk at this point.
When she stepped out in front of him, did she step out into the center of the ballroom, around the stairs with the balcony and the dawn looking down on her, perhaps directly underneath that famous Machado chandelier?
As it so happens, she did take enough steps to be directly under the famous Machado family chandelier.
So as soon as I step into the door, because I'm nowhere near it, I want to use my last to just take my fencing sword, because this thing is not helping me in the fight, and throw it like a dart across the room to the rope that is holding the chandelier in place, to just have it then loosed free and collapse down into the ground.
I absolutely love it, yeah. So yeah, you...
And I throw it for true love. Straight through.
Like Cupid's arrow, it flies true and severs that rope holding up the Machado family chandelier, which is both a beautiful bit of the glazier's art and also like the family history on the different layers of the chandelier hanging as medallions.
Oh no, they can only tell their family story through glasswork. What have you done?
And yeah, gravity takes its course and it comes crashing down as the bishop sort of looks up and gasps at it in a very stereotypical, like, hands over the face, drops her poison dagger. Yeah, it comes crashing down on her. And actually Don Machado as well.
Oops.
So yeah, that comes down, and everybody starts to get a little more amped up. Beautiful. Francesco does that.
I don't know if that helped, but I did a thing.
Okay, but like just as that happens, can Dirk just be like, "Oh, the weight of shame."
I love it. Yes, 100%. All right, so there's only 2 more raises left to spend, one from the bishop and one from the Don, both of which are going to spend their raise to get out from under the fucking chandelier.
Oh, you're still alive.
They are very much alive, but also they are not
Dirk
happy.
has regrets.
Francesco is unarmed.
You have successfully unarmed yourself, yes.
Oh, dear.
All right, I love it. Beautiful. Now at the end of the round, shit gets real.
Uh-oh.
So, at this point, the guards come basically staggering and swinging their weapons, and they're actually now acting upon the orders that they've been given. They've been doing it this whole time, but time is nice and stretchy and flexy.
Wibbly wobbly, if you will.
Wibbly wobbly, if you would. As the chandelier comes down, all the feigned, like, I'm supposed to be shocked gasps, and then like the real gasps as this like scandalous sort of almost seditious material has been spread throughout the crowd starts to happen, are now replaced with like real gasps and screams. As the chandelier comes down and, you know, people are trying to flee. It's an absolute panic.
But they are on our side.
They are not against you. That's right. They are on your side. But right now, it's mostly every man, woman, and child for themselves.
Yeah.
As well, the guards by the doors are sealing them. They're locking them up. You guys see there are guards that sort of come up the steps from, they've been on the grounds. They've come up the steps and form a perimeter down the front stairs. The few side entrances you hear sort of like the doors are getting barred as people are screaming and trying to get to exits, and they're freaking out. They can't get out. And then the guards start to attack you guys. These inquisitorial goons come at you. So in the crush, Anna, you see, 5 or 6 guys are coming to sort of drag you away and silence these horrible things you're saying about their boss. And in so doing, they rough you up, and you end up taking 10 wounds.
What? Shit.
Now, here's my question. Now that I have taken these wounds, do I need to take 5 more to activate my sorcery, or do these wounds count?
Activating your sorcery is another 5.
There's nothing I can do to stop the wounds?
You could have stopped them before, but you can't now. Dirk, you have definitely caught some attention, and the bishop is like, "Get him!" to you now that she's sort of staggering and bleeding herself.
The date's canceled.
No, I'm into it. I'm into it. It's good.
The weird torture sex romp has definitely been called off, or at least rain checked.
Look, maybe we've just rerouted the torture sex romp. Like maybe it's still happening, but I'm in a slightly different position now. I don't know.
You might be in a very different position, more compromising.
Maybe I'm into it.
Yeah, maybe you're into it. Only one way to find out.
I'll think about it.
And so, Dirk, you're going to take 10 wounds as guards sort of dogpile onto you.
Sort of into it.
And then, Francesco, the big benefit of you activating that opportunity of the chandelier over the entrance is that it's between you and all the rest of the chaos, and the guards can't get at you.
Ha ha!
But oh my god, do they want to?
Oh.
So, heads up. And that is our first round. All right, approaches for round 2.
That didn't go
and I'm
well.
going to come up with some consequences.
Shaking and crying mostly.
Oh, I get a bonus die for one or more dramatic wounds.
Yes, you do.
Son of a
every
bitch.
5th wound in this game is a dramatic wound. Those are the cool ones that make you bleed and get cool scars to tell stories about. The odd-numbered dramatic wounds that you take give you a benefit. The even-numbered ones you take give a benefit to the bad guys.
And that's a good one for them.
That's right. And if, of course, you get to 4, if you take 20 wounds in total, you are helpless. Not necessarily dead, but you are certainly not in a position to do much else.
Okay. My move, Will, is at this point the gloves are off.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a straight shot at Ramon. Nobody's holding him down right now. So fuck it.
Tuck and roll.
I've ruined my my cover here already.
You've got a bunch of valuable intel you didn't expect.
But my cover is blown.
Yeah.
Run, grab Ramon, and portal back to the safe house.
Hey.
Yeah,
you did leave a mark there, so you can do that. That's gonna be your. How are you gonna get through the surging crowd?
see how it is.
Oh, never mind. The chandelier's gone, so you can't use that anymore.
Yes, it's still on the ground.
Yes,
I'm going to vault over the chandelier.
you ruined
All right, that sounds to me like an athletics, and probably finesse athletics.
Yep. Could I get panache? It's very panacheful.
Oh, if you can describe how you're doing it with force of personality.
Yes. Let me through. Come with me if you want to live.
Okay, so you're not going to take just Ramon. You're going to take some of the people in the way as well.
Well, no, I'm just taking Ramon through the portal, but yes.
Fair enough. You know what?
I see
You've
how
invoked,
it is.
you've invoked Arnold. I'll let it happen.
Look, I see how it is. This is because I didn't write you down as a romantic interest, isn't it? I see how it's going. I have to spend a fate point to open the portal and another to take someone with me. So that will be both my fate points.
Yeah, your hero points, yes.
Hero points, yes.
Dirk and I will be left behind to be interrogated.
You'll be doing that sort of when you basically want to, is the cool thing about your magic. It doesn't necessarily need to follow in a particular approach, but I'm asking for an approach from you just so that you have some to spend in case you want to do something before you sort of peace out of here.
I just want to get him and peace the fuck out. And
beautiful. That
will be for us to describe when it happens.
Exactly. All right. That sounds awesome. How about Dirk? What's Dirk up to?
I mean, I've still got my weapons. So, I mean, I have some advantages, but, I don't see how any of this is going to help me right now. Because I'm in a fight. I mean, Dirk wants the fuck out. Dirk would also like the fuck out, but, I mean, I suppose he's gonna watch that happen and be like, yeah, all right, and then the portal's gonna close, he's gonna be like, okay.
Would Dirk just surrender?
What? Is that like a forced failure? Is Dirk just being like, I give up?
I mean, we can figure out how to escape prison, but I don't think we can escape the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm...
You can, in this game, choose to fail.
Yeah, I recall. It fell on my face and it was glorious.
Yeah.
I mean, Dirk is, halfway to helpless. He's real hurt.
I mean, that might also still get you down to that church where they're going to burn the priests.
That's true.
just-
I was real into that
chains
church.
instead.
Look, I was real into that church.
Now, I mean, if it'll help, I can also tell you sort of the consequences and opportunities that we're going into, and I'm pretty sure it's actually the order I'm supposed to do it in. My bad.
I mean, I'm down with that.
Still first time. Okay, so some opportunities that are going to come up in this next round. You'll be able to find a surprise ally amongst the crowd.
Gasp,
indeed. I've put this down as someone kicks Jose Wick's dog. He has been in the back sort of detaining guards till now, but now that, blood's going to get spilled and people are beating each other up, that's more his sort of party, so he's going to be much more active this round. So that is another opportunity you can have.
So surprise ally and Jose Wick, that's the same opportunity.
I know those are two separate opportunities.
Oh, shit.
So there's a surprise ally and
someone
Jose
kicks Jose
Wick.
Wick's dog. Okay.
That's right.
Shit.
So those are the opportunities as they stand at the moment. In terms of consequences, we're going to have innocent people getting hurt.
Yeah,
that's going to be a bad one, of course.
I'm already hurt. I don't know what you're talking about. Innocent people are already hurt.
And then an additional sort of consequence that you're going to need to look out for is that Ramon is going to do something he regrets.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I guess I'll just end up spending a free race to knock that out.
Yes. Although, again, it's not necessarily something he regrets, here or there, or it may not be location dependent. He's going to do something that he regrets. Groovy. So those are the opportunities and consequences in the scene at the moment. If that informs your choice.
Shall we roll?
Well, first, we gotta
we
give
need
our
to.
approaches.
We
don't
need to
know what
figure out
Francesco's doing.
Yeah, we need to figure out what the fuck we're doing.
So now knowing
Go ahead.
about the opportunities and consequences, do you have a better idea what Dirk wants to do?
No. Dirk is real sad right now. I mean, like, I'm of two minds. Basically, I either just go all, like, put back on the super charm, right? I'm, like, bleeding from multiple wounds. I've got a very dashing, like, cut across my face. I'm real pretty. And I just look back at the bishop, and I'm like, Bella. Right? Like, I don't care about what else you've done, kind of a thing, and try and, like, get her kind of back on my side.
Okay, if you're going to try something like that, again, I think that would be a tempt in this case.
I was going to say, would that be a panache tempt?
It would be.
I mean, I'll try it. I'll try it.
All right, so you're going to panache tempt the bishop to reconsider your position.
Me.
Okay. I love Dirk. Francisco Florento is not a caricature like Dirk. He's definitely. The surprise ally, I'm hoping, is my good and trusted friend from the Duelist Guild, who is very good at fighting and very good at saving me. Whenever I fall into harm's way like this, whenever I'm fighting for true love.
Growing up, he always had your back.
He rolls his eyes, he takes a breath, he comes in, he saves the day. I'm his tuxedo mask. So
Throw a rose.
So
Look, but do you have bacon in your pocket?
So I am
well,
going
he jumped
to
into the roast.
I don't know what this would why did I
Tell me what you
throw
want to
my
do and we'll
sword
figure
away?
out the role.
I don't know what I want to do. I want to because I just don't. I threw my sword away. I don't have my hat or my sword.
You might have a knife on your side. You might be able to steal somebody else's.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the things I want to do versus the skills that I have. Right. I don't want to hamstring myself by only rolling 2 dice. And all of these advantages are like for outside of combat, except for fencing. Fencing gives me an extra die if I roll any kind of weaponry check.
That is true. Well, with a one-handed sword, yeah.
With a one-handed sword, like the one I just
Or
threw.
like a knife.
Like the one.
It doesn't help with a battle axe, but other
Yeah.
fencing weapons.
My
Totally
very
cool.
fancy sword that I just threw at the chandelier.
Yeah, that one.
That
Or
one.
what
Or
about
maybe the fancy main gauche you have.
what about a really pointy stick?
So I keep a little. Sure. I mean, if you allow me to have this.
the
dagger
bishop did drop a sweet poison dagger.
I mean, sure. I've got a dagger on me then. But do I want to get into a fight, or like I don't know how my fighting raises are going to help me with bringing in this ally.
Keep in mind.
I want to use those opportunities.
That the opportunities don't necessarily have to reflect, so you can use any skill to do kind of anything, in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like you can use hide to walk up behind somebody and smack them upside the head with a blackjack and knock them out, or you could do that with brawl, right? It would just depend. It'll flavor the fiction of how that happens, right? So if you want to do something and you're rolling weaponry, all that means is that you have to cut something to do it, or you're threatening somebody with the weapon and like thrusting at them to make space or something to make those things happen.
Okay, so there's a bunch of people still here at this party who are now trapped in this room who are going to get hurt. And
as several brawls are exploding, yes.
So finesse and weaponry. I want to either collect a sword my sword, perhaps that's even fallen onto the ground, and leap between me, put myself between the guards and the people, and hold them off.
Awesome. Yeah, dude, that is definitely straight up finesse and weaponry. You're actively battling them back.
And I understand this. I'm going to be a martyr by the end of this act.
Say, you're gonna die before Dirk and Francesco ever get their romance arc.
So we'll do it as a prequel, and I have just been acting like I didn't know you this whole time.
I mean, that's understandable.
So that's my approach then, is to put myself between the guards and the people.
Great.
And be a
that's
pincushion.
that's what you're aiming to do, and you're using your weapons to do that. Yeah, finesse weaponry.
Yeah.
Great. Now, please everybody roll. And also, looking at the time, how are we at?
We're over, but we're just we'll finish this up as it naturally can.
Yeah, as I say, we're coming to the finale here.
So do I get
You're going to get a bonus die for novelty to everybody.
Yeah.
This is the first time you guys have used these, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you're all describing it beautifully, so everybody also gets a bonus die for that.
and
That's
I
a
have
flare
a
die.
fencing advantage, so I get a bonus die for that.
Yes, you do.
for using
Plus, I'm
certain
pretty sure I
weapons.
kicked all your asses last round, so you should all be getting a bonus die.
we get a
for your
bonus
first
die for
traumatic wound.
risks.
I am at 4, so I am 1 under getting that extra die.
Okay.
My baddies. They have bonus dice.
Making sure I got all the dice. No, missed one.
Does anything phenomenal
Nope.
happen when you get exactly 10?
If you have certain ranks and things, it can make
No.
them explode.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Or if you have enough wounds.
yes, that's right.
I got 4 raises and 1 extra.
Nice.
I got a 10, so that was.
Give me a minute, because I got a lot of dice here, and I'm trying
worries.
to math out if I can make all of these little shitty dice make numbers. 10.
I'm sorry, Anna. What was that again? You had 3?
4.
4, yes. Nice and consistent.
I mean, I have 3 and 3 dice left over, pretty much. However,
Hey. Yeah, there's not a lot of once you start making 10s, there's not a lot of wiggling to make more 10s. Sadly,
yeah, I was wondering if I could kind of like anagram my way to more 10s, but the answer is no. Math doesn't work like that. Shut up, Bree.
very rarely. And then Francesco, what did you have?
I'm just figuring that. Yeah, no, I've got. I had 2 10s and then 1 9, and there are no leftover dice, so I don't think there's any way to match these dice differently. Although some of them are going over, so I'm trying to like.
Well, it's okay to be over.
Do the
right?
math. I know. I'm just trying to figure out because I had like.
No,
for
I
example,
just tried that.
I had a 6 and a 4, so that was like dead on. I have a 10, and then I have these 3 3s, which is like crap, and then I have a 1, so there's another 10. Then I got a 5 and a 2, and then 2 1s.
No, that's it.
But my weaponry is 3, so I can
You get to re-roll one
re-roll
of
a
those
single
ones.
die. So I can re-roll one of that 1, and as long as it's more than a 1, then I'll get
Then
that
you're good.
third 10. And it was a
shit.
6.
Oh shit, I can do that too.
Do it.
Thank you. Oh, shit. Yeah, I have 4 then.
Okay, great.
Yeah, 4 and 1 left over. Thanks, Justin, for reading the fucking rules.
And
So
Justin, what do you have?
I have 3 raises and 2 leftover die.
Okay, you got 3. Great. Well, the bad guys rolled just awful.
Yeah.
All of them.
Suck it.
They're all going to be going on 3.
Yay!
Suck it.
Yeah.
Why
They
are
all
you
rolled quite a few
yang?
dice.
Why are you yang? You're getting the fuck out. Fuck you, man.
No, it's the whole mission is to get him out.
No, the mission is me. Shut up.
Let's go around and look at our people going 4. So Anna or Dirk, whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead, Anna.
A brawl is now erupting. People are getting hurt. They're screaming and panicking. It's just fucking chaos in there.
Yeah. Anna, can I get to Ramon and open the portal on this action?
You could if you'd like. Basically spend a raise to get there, and then, yeah, do it.
Great. Spend a raise, and I need to spend a raise to open the portal. So that's my thing.
Okay, so that'll drop you down to 2.
Yep, and spend both of my fate points to take him with me. And literally, Anna lifts... Actually, she has, like, the tearaway skirts on.
Of course, because they're cool.
Because she's a spy. And revealing that she, in fact, has, like, tight trousers on underneath.
Nice.
Dirk's into
Runs... Pardon?
Dirk's into
All
it.
of a sudden, Dirk's into it. Careful, Anna. It's a good thing you're porting out right now because you don't want to have a target on.
Throws her fan at the guards to distract them. Ducks under their arms. Runs, vaults off of the chandelier to go into a roll. Takes her next to Ramon. She tears away one of the torn sleeves on her dress to reveal that her left arm is covered in knife scars all down it.
Dirk's less into it.
Pulls out her hairpin. Her hair tumbles down. She literally slashes her wrist open. Grabs Ramon by the collar. Mon Dieu, you idiot! Come with me if you want to live. Throws her own blood into the air, and then the world screams. And a hole, like a red bleeding hole, rips open into the world. And she has enough presence of mind to scream at Ramon, "Close your eyes and do not open them until I tell you to," as she drags him into the portal and it closes behind her.
Amazing. Now, as you sort of reveal the cut marks, everybody knows you're Montaigne. They see those, they know that is the mark of your nation's sort of infamous sorcery. But then actually seeing you do it, people lose their shit.
Oh, yeah, and because I can just get rid of my 2 raises anyway because I'm out of this fight.
No, Will, were you trying to interrupt with some of your other things? Is that what the plan was?
Well, I'm just saying you may want to hold on to them. It depends what. Don't be sold on necessarily spending them. What do you got in mind?
Keeping Ramon from doing something stupid.
I like it. Yeah, sure, you can spend one on
like
that.
opening his eyes inside of the portal.
Yes,
It's like you read my mind.
Yes.
Great. So he will not do something stupid that he regrets this term.
That we would all regret. And gone.
Beautiful, yeah. So, like, in the walkways, you could feel him screaming, and, like, in that horrible demonic world between worlds, he wants back. He wants to sort of basically get back at them for all these horrible things they've done to him. He doesn't understand why he can't just be happy. And yeah, but you keep a firm hand on him and sort of, like, shake some sense into him, and you make it.
You, if you want to see your true love again, you will do as I say.
And that sort of mollifies him a bit. Very nice.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And we'll pop back in the safe house basically at the end of the turn.
Nice. Yeah, you'll still have 1 raise to spend. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, that was cool. Dirk,
Hi.
your buddy has just revealed that she is, in fact, not just from a country of heretics, but also actively a sorcerer, keeping in mind that in this world, sorcerers killed Jesus.
I'm into it, but also super confused. I gotta have a long, hard think about that one.
Okay.
Dirk's not used to that.
So. We're
I mean,
trapped.
we're trapped. This is good. No,
I
but
always knew I was going to die next to you. I just didn't think it would be right now.
I'm just giving him a look. I realize that doesn't translate very well on
We
the podcast.
heard the look. We heard the
Fine.
look.
You could hear it.
So I mean, Dirk's got like zero notice. Honestly, I'm gonna just go with he barely even saw that.
I think people outside might have seen that.
Yeah, I mean, Dirk is gonna be like, well, that happened anyway. Hold
Yeah.
on, getting my seduce on.
Outside, all the windows of the mansion just turned red instantly,
Yes,
like glowing
yes.
light coming outside. Everyone was like, "What?"
Yeah, to outside onlookers, it's like, yeah, like somebody summoned
Birds that were sleeping in the trees were
crazy light
woken
show.
up by
Look.
the screaming and all fluttered away.
Look, Dirk has eyes only for the bishop.
Oh, so you're still...
I'm trying.
You've lost Roman, but you can still have me.
No, honey, you're my last resort. You know that.
No, I was...
Oh, brutal.
So, yeah, Dirk, I'm going to spend this first raise to have Dirk stick with the plan that I had so far, which was to, focus all of his smoldering attention back on the bishop and, like, toss whatever's left of the letters he had in his hands and just be like, none of that matters to me anyway.
You just throw it into the fireplace?
You just, like, throw it into the, like, smoldering embers of whatever's nearest.
Yeah, well, I mean, the chandelier had a bunch of candles and shit. Totally.
Yeah, I just like toss it into that and they float down into the fires, burn. And as they're doing that, I look across it at her.
All right, so you're commanding the bishop's attention. I
It's
think
mood
that.
lighting.
I love it. Yeah, the bishop.
Whose side are you on?
Look, I don't know myself most
Bishop's
days.
wondering that herself. She's like, I don't know whose side. I have no idea what's going on with this person. They're crazy. I like it. I'm kind of into it.
Yes!
Dirk
Saved
Weiss is
it.
everyone's type.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Especially Dirk.
Especially Dirk.
Love it.
Okay.
All right, so that's what Dirk's up to. Now we're on 3 various bad guys.
Damn it.
So I think the first thing that's going to happen is that Don Machado is just going to start shouting orders to some of the guards. They're not exactly like his guys; these are inquisitorial thugs. But he does have house staff that were sort of like supposed to be doing their jobs instead of drinking and dragging ass all the time. And so, yeah, he's going to sort of shout some orders to them. And unfortunately, as he does so, Francesco, you see that your buddy Geraldo, right? He has sort of been trying to get to you because he knows that the switcheroo is obviously not working. Everything's gone down the toilet. He's trying to make his way to you, and bam! Somebody comes up behind him and just knocks him over the head, and down he goes, fabulous hat and all.
Oh.
You see him sort of disappear amongst
No,
the crush of people.
He was just trying to return my hat.
Just trying to return your hat that he stole from Diego. That's what he's up to. Captain Silva is going to get inside. He's going to sort of come into the door, assess the situation. He saw the sort of fell light of sorcery shining through outside.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, he figures that gave him pause. Looking
That wasn't
around
me.
sort of at the carnage, he is going to... I think he's going to stab you again, Francesco. He's gonna say, "Turn and face me, coward!" And yeah, he is going to stab you for 3.
Well, at least now I'll get a bonus die the next time go.
Yay!
Yay.
Assuming that the brutes don't crush you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm up to 7 now.
Yikes! And then the bishop. The bishop
Mi
is
amor.
going to.
Bella.
Yeah, she's gonna actually kind of get into this.
There's never a bad time for a
she's
flirt.
She's not cutting her losses, but you kind of get the impression as she sort of composes herself again and sort of like wipes the blood from her brow and sort of looks with disgust at where the portal had been opened and actively avoids it. And like the crowds that are still trying to flee, they're pressing away from there harder than ever. Nobody wanted to get towards the craziness happening at the front of the room. Now they really don't. And so she sort of makes her way over and sort of presents her ring to you and goes, heresy can be forgiven, but loyalty is what gets rewarded.
Will, table talk here. Is this you about to take Dirk away? Maybe?
It's me giving you an opportunity. The bishop is basically spending a raise. If you're willing to sort of if you're willing to work against your companions, she's willing to make use of your services. Now,
little does she know that Dirk's services are worth jack shit.
Hey now.
You're just good in a bath. And just looking pretty at a ball.
I mean, I have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
I have a plan, and it's roughly contingent on whether you will allow me to do like the tiniest retcon, Will.
I barely remember what happened 5 minutes ago. So
excellent.
Yeah, go for it.
Can we just say that I have one of the vials of poison?
Oh, that's not even retcon. That's
like
beautiful.
I just shoved all that shit in my shirt, basically.
I think it's safe to say that you have hidden that about you. That was your approach at the time, and I will allow it.
Amazing. So I mean, I'm gonna go along with it for now, right? Like flourishy bow, kiss ring. Like, of course, I'll go with that.
Yeah, and so she's like, all right, you're going to tell me everything about your heretical friend and where they went once we get this chaos in order. And then she'll start barking orders and is glad to have you back on side.
Oh, good. I know nothing about our friend because I was too busy having a fucking bath.
Oh, perfect.
You can't lie if you never knew.
I didn't know anything to begin with. Joke's on you.
Perfect ignorance is bliss. There's a whole theology thing going on here. Great. So, Francesco.
They can't torture answers out of you that you don't have. Well, perfect.
Keep in mind, we still have some things on the board.
Yeah.
Innocent people are about to get hurt at any moment.
Yeah.
You've got brute squads about to fuck y'all up. As well, someone's going to kick Jose Wick's dog, and that'll probably help you and make him go nuts. And as well, you can find a surprise ally somewhere in this ensuing tussle.
Shoot. Okay, so, I mean, it was funny because innocence being hurt, and my approach was to put myself between the people and the guards. And now Geraldo's gone down, and I want to put myself between the guards and Geraldo. And for the first time, perhaps, it will be moi who rescues him. And won't that be funny story to tell later? So the same approach.
Except for the fact that you'll be dead.
Except for the fact that I'll be dead. So once again, I slip away from Silva, vaulting across the remains of the chandelier to retrieve my sword. Was that the direction that Geraldo went down, or was that somewhere else?
Yes, more or less.
And so I'm searching for him. I want to just stand over his body and defend him against whoever was that knocked him over his head.
Okay. And so yeah, you're. It sounds to me like you're just going to engage with that brute squad a bit.
Yes.
All right. So you're going to do some wounds to them. You got bashed with that torch, unfortunately, so you're pretty sort of loopy. But I'm feeling generous. I'm going to let you knock that brute squad down to 1.
Nice.
Yay.
So one of the 3 brute squads is at 1, and the other 2.
Sorry, you knocked them down by 1. They're not going to be able to attack this turn, and their strength is now 9.
Okay.
All right. So you've prevented those wounds. They're now they're in disarray, and when they do get to hurt people, it's going to be not nearly as bad.
Get up, Geraldo. It's time to fight for true love.
Great, yeah, and you see, the hat and the tabard is sort of struggling to get up amongst the,
can I retrieve my hat?
Stomping feet.
Can I retrieve my hat as a free action?
You're kind of busy fighting like 20 guys.
Okay.
Maybe I'm going to retrieve your hat.
I rolled finesse. Okay, fair enough.
You did roll finesse. You know what? You rolled finesse, yes. You draw the hat onto your head and turn to face your opponents, looking better than ever. Diego Ortega, who's been like sort of like sneaking out the back with the remains of the liquor, having a quiet gunfight with
after my own heart.
curses that he's stolen his head yet again.
Gunfight?
I assume each of them shot both their pistols once and then have been clubbing each other with the pistols.
It's beautiful.
Yep, that sounds like Jose.
All right, Dirk.
Hi. All right. So during my flourishy bow was actually an expert redirect, right? While you're watching my flourishy hand, the other hand is both unsheathing my dagger and like basically like crunching the poison in my hand and like God hoping I don't fuck that up.
Pouring it down the blade.
And pouring it down the blade of the dagger. While I'm busy kissing the ring with the other hand. Because, you know, Dirk's clothes are so voluminous and lovely that it's really easy to kind of do that in a fold. And then
it's hard to see details around you because of the halo that comes off of Dirk.
it's
got like a soft lighting sort of thing.
It's a strange soft light glow. Like I don't know what's up. I'll spend 2 raises for this if you tell me I need them, but I would literally like to just stab her. Like in the heart.
Brad.
Poison blade.
I'm gonna say that's gonna cost you 2 raises.
Yeah, I'll spend that.
Mostly because your approach was convince panache, right?
Yeah.
Tempt panache.
Look, I was super tempting right up to the point where I stabbed her in the heart.
Super tempting until you stab her in the heart.
Is it more tempting to slit her throat? Like we could go that way.
If you were tempting her to like
right between the
off
ribs.
herself in some sort of lover's pact with you, that would be a tempt, right?
No,
or like, let's become blood brothers with this knife. It's not poison. Don't worry about it.
I'll just fucking stab her.
As a tradition of my vice
you
and
spent
people.
your 2 raises. You're down at 1. You got 1 raise left.
Yep.
But yeah, you stab her in the heart. She sort of looks so betrayed.
But did you ever see that episode of, I think it was it Rebels or was it Clone Wars, where she's Ventress stabs a guy with her lightsaber and then pulls him close down the blade of the lightsaber and then kisses him like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so she looks like not surprised and then betrayed about it and then
you kiss her.
Kind of into it.
Look, man. I'm into it.
Yeah. Groovy. So yeah, the bishop has been sort of silenced and stabbed in the chest. Francesco.
Hey, it's me again. So is Geraldo alive and conscious?
Moving around.
Get up, man! It's time to fight.
You spend your raise to belittle the wounded man on the floor.
You could find a surprise ally, maybe. Or
how would I mean, the surprised ally. What do I even do? Do I just go and just yell out, "Who would fight for me for true love"?
Well, with this one, this is kind of like a not standard interpretation of the rules thing that I've picked up from my regular GM on this, which is basically, it's just a narrative twist I wanted to throw in because I got a cool idea.
Oh, okay.
If you just say you spend it, it's going to happen on your action, and then I'll describe sort of what happens and how it affects you.
So the guards are moving in on me. I'm standing over my unconscious, my knocked out friend, and I've got my hat back. I've got a sword in my hand, but it's not looking well. And
You're massively outnumbered.
I'm spending my raise. If only there was a surprise ally who would come to my rescue.
Yeah, so things are looking grim for you, right? Things are looking super bad.
There's no way I can get out. We're the one person who could have teleported me out, teleported out, and now we're all left behind.
In my defense, I only had enough hero points to take 1 person.
And I don't think my disarming smile is going to get me out of this one.
Probably not. There's a lot of sort of drunken, leering grimaces coming your way. And so... Oh,
you mean an honest misunderstanding isn't going to help me either?
And not at this point. It's a little late for that. As sort of the blades come close to you, the musicians who had been playing and then were stopped by the shock of everything.
Are they the members of the Los Vagabondos?
The musicians start up a beautiful guitar number. Think of the most badass classical Spanish guitar.
Is he about to be
saved
saved by El Mariachi?
The Desperados?
Look, I think it's for me. I just finished my coup de grace. I'm like, oh yeah.
And sort of as you like go to like thrust your sword at a guy who is getting a little too close, one of his buddies comes to like he's basically bringing his saber down. You didn't see he had it. It's coming like right at your shoulder. It's gonna take your whole damn arm off.
And this is how I end.
Bam! There's a spark of steel, and out of nowhere, a man or woman or someone dressed in purple with a beautiful golden mask and a fabulous hat and a flowing cape shows up right to like the stars as Los Vagabundo has appeared and has saved you. And you are now fighting back to back against
hero!
3 guys with your hero.
Yes, it's all my dreams come true. Your dreams are Bella Bishop. Mine have always been to be this man, or woman, or animal.
Thing.
This force of nature you see as, man, El Vagabundo can definitely fight. Rad. So that definitely starts to turn the tone of the fight. All the guards are now focusing, like, okay, we know for a fact Vagabundo's got to get dealt with. All right, so that was Francesco. Now we are on 2. Captain Silva and Don Machado, they rush in, and they are not going to have El Vagabundo. They had you guys on the ropes. You guys were in bad
Don't
shape.
villains go first?
Captain Silva and Don Machado both engaged El Vagabundo and Francesco to some effect. You see El Vagabundo is parrying sort of Captain Silva's attack and more or less ignoring feeble Don Machado's swipes at him. The bishop has been stabbed in the heart with a poison dagger. Her own poison dagger. And although she just got a kiss from the person who she had an inexplicable level of attraction to.
Yeah, so does everyone.
She is going to basically spend an action.
Aw, damn it.
Her raise is she is going to basically say, Dirk Weiss, I name you anathema. And she's like coughing on her own blood.
Oh dear.
Wow.
You're not just excommunicated. You are an enemy of God.
Well, I mean, this
It
is
doesn't
gonna
stick if she dies and doesn't leave this room.
It doesn't stick if she dies, and nobody is gonna report that it happened.
Just twist that knife a little.
Yeah.
I think we
I'm going
established
to let
the
her spend
backstory.
2 raises on that.
Wait. Cover it up. She said I was an animal.
I am an animal in bed.
Oh. All right. So that was the bishop.
I think we've established too, though, in Dirk's history, that you have no problem being on either side of the church, depending on the court.
Dirk doesn't really care. It depends.
I'm
what are
pretty sure
you
your
into?
whole existence, whether you're objectionist or Vaticine, I think that you just decided I'm Vaticine today.
Yeah,
when you wanted to get
literally
close to the
depends
bishop.
on what town I rolled into this morning.
You'll just
the
change
only
your
real
name.
danger from this is if word of that gets out.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
The bards do sing about me an awful lot.
They think about you an awful lot, so you're going to want to make sure that gets kind of hush-hush. All right, let's see what's going on with Francesco.
What is going on with Francesco?
You guys kind of have the prize. Getting out of here might be your best bet at this point.
Yeah, it is time to abscond, I believe is the term that
It
we would
is.
use in the tale.
Or egress.
And so, with Los Vagabundos doing their thing and just real nice.
Being a bamf.
I'm just gonna find where a Pastora was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where did you toss the new love of your
Pastora is
life?
outside. You left her on the steps, and she was like, "Fuck it, I ain't coming in."
Same girl.
Smart girl.
I'm gonna finesse my way
Suddenly, I like her again.
out a window to where Pastora is, and while everyone is being taken up by the hero of legend and the bishop going down, I'm going to egress, see Pastora, and then be like, "We've got your brother. He's safe," and sneak off down to the safe house.
I've got that last raise as well. I don't know what to do with it, but
I'd like to spend my last raise to like flee with her.
So you're gonna spend your last raise to flee with Pastora in tow.
And I guess Geraldo will be fine. He's a duelist.
I'll tell you something right now. You go to help Geraldo up. It's not Geraldo, but it is wearing Gerardo's like tabard.
Oh God, Geraldo did my trick, but with someone else and much better. Oh, Geraldo, I am so jealous right now and so impressed, and I'm so jealous. But I'll deal with this later.
Yeah,
my mind just got blown.
Francesco jealous, but with the girl on arm.
And I just picture too, like if this was a movie, I look up like my last shot of Los Vagabondos. The mask doesn't cover the full face, just most of it, and from the side you can just make out the grimace, like the smile, the corner of his mouth, and it looks it's got that same kind of stubble that Geraldo had on the previous. Like it's kind of like
very much.
Kind of like, is it really Batman? Is that really much of a disguise? Where you're not even covering your mouth up like that? Okay, cool. So then we're out.
Nice. And then you're out. Great.
And I say, we have your brother. We can go.
I mean, Dirk would also like to get out, unless it's possible for me to become best friends with Los Vagabondos, because that's what Francesco wants more than anything. So, like, is it possible for me to just be like, yeah, best buds, and then for him to kill everything?
Bella just went, you name me your successor, you said?
yes!
I mean, I am going on panache and tempt. So, like, maybe I'm just like, oh, what's that? No, I couldn't possibly. I'm not trained in the church, but, oh, if you insist, just, like, using her arms like a marionette, just, like, patting myself on the chest. Just, like, I mean, if you insist.
That might be a little over the top.
I'm like standing up and telling him.
No, that you're just truly mad if you're trying to do that. You're just a lunatic.
Just completely insane. Like, try that, realize no one is fucking listening to me, and just like drop her body and be like, fine, and like sneak out.
And then run.
And just so you're just gonna like try to take the business place for a sec, say fuck it, and then
leave.
All right, great.
Grab a bottle from Jose and out the door.
Yeah, like a bottle of champagne on my way out. Just like
groovy.
Find me drunk in an alleyway somewhere in the morning, it'll be fine.
Yeah. As you're leaving, you do see, Jose Wick down one last sort of bottle of fine Castilian wine, reloaded pistols, sort of a whole brace of them sort of taken, or a bandolier of them, I should say.
He downs the bottle of wine and knocks the guy out by throwing it at his head.
Exactly.
Like over his shoulder.
Scoops up a whole bandolier of fresh pistols off a downed guard, and then starts like shooting and battling his way over to then have a sweet back-to-back battle with Los Vagabondos as Dirk flees off into the night. Now, Anna, do you have any idea what you want to do with that last raise?
Can I use it once we arrive that she reveals that she had another disguise on underneath her dress?
100% you can.
So that we're basically pulls on a different top, pulls on like a sailor shirt over her arms, pulls her hair back, throws on a quick bit of makeup, and we're ready to go once everyone's there.
Great. And
so she no longer looks like Anna-Henrietta.
Everybody sort of arrives in a staggered fashion, not too far off from each other.
I brought Pastora back to her brother. It was me. I did that.
And you did, yeah. Pastora.
Not according to the bards.
Oh, and I get Ramon a bucket because he probably vomits a lot when he comes out of the walkways.
Oh, yeah, he's not doing so good. But by the time everybody sort of gets there, again, this has only occurred over, like just a minute or two.
Yeah.
But in the intervening time to cover that space that you covered instantly, he vomits and sort of cleans himself up and, thank you. Thank you so much, Senora.
Do not mention it. No. Honestly. Never speak of this.
I assure you I will not. I just want to retire to a quiet life with my beloved Philippe.
I mean, if you want anyone to take the credit, I think we have a fallback.
I will find both of you work in the employ of my father. It is... Yes.
Blessings upon you. He's nothing but grateful. Everybody else shows up, and I take it you make your way to the ship?
Yep.
Great.
Whoa, we have a ship?
Yeah.
Dirk is
standing by.
Dirk is
Anna-Henrietta
flabbergasted.
Yeah.
You guys are really prepared.
Wow.
And I think at that point you have successfully thwarted Bishop Fierro so hard.
I think the
Poison
part where
stabbed
she
in the heart,
died was
dead.
I like how Dirk never told us that there was a bunch of priests tied up in the church ready to be burned tonight. Like, we could have gone
Well,
off.
that's the thing. The town's still pretty fucked up. The bishop isn't necessarily dead, but like she's probably dead.
That sounds like a whole lot of not my problem.
Exactly. You guys have got out of this basically scot-free, just a little rough around the edges.
It's like 2 hours after we leave, I'm just like, oh shit, guys, there was something I forgot to do.
And we look back at the cathedral on
It's on
flames.
fire, and I'm just like, never mind.
As
Never
you're sailing
mind.
off, right? All the like the bathhouse folks are like weeping and waving to Dirk
Dirk.
and saying, "You'll be remembered forever as our hero."
Damn straight.
He was like at the front of
I'm
the
just
boat.
like the queen waving at the front of the boat. Just like,
Yeah, and you see, Senor Pancho and his whole family have come into town to celebrate his 80th
all
birthday.
57 of them.
And so they're on the docks waving goodbye to you as well. And then
There's the young man who
boat
saved my
sort of
life.
clears harbor, the fireworks go off. It's a beautiful ending scene. And I think there we conclude our story.
Yay.
Geraldo was vagabundos.
Yeah, all
I
right.
managed to turn it into a mission for the crown after all.
You did. And so I think at that point we should probably call her quits, eh, Justin?
Oh yeah, we are donezo.
Super done.
super done.
So from Edmonton, I've been your GM this evening, Will Mitchell. And my players have been starting in the Edmonton area.
I'm Derek the Bard from the Edmonton crew.
And then coming to us live from Toronto.
Bree Poisonne playing folk hero Dirk Weiss, who really just saved you all. You're welcome.
And Justin
Yeah.
Ecock playing Francesco
Just
Florento.
all.
I don't care if everyone thinks Dirk is the hero. In my heart, I know Pastora knows I was hers.
Oh, she definitely knows. She definitely
Yeah.
knows that you
Yeah,
brought
look,
the person.
Except-
we've got a month on a ship. You just fucking try me.
We got 3 weeks alone on a boat with Dirk. It's done.
She's not even gonna remember your name.
True fact.
I throw you
and
overboard.
so, yeah.
I throw you overboard.
But I look so dashing climbing back onto the ship.
And then Justin, I think you should sign up too.
We're out of here, everyone. Be good to each other. And that is a wrap of the 7th Sea. Patreon supporters, you can head right over now to patreon.com/terriblewarriors and you can listen to the debrief where we all just really talk about Dirk for another 20 minutes. That's not true. We actually broke down what we liked about the 7th Sea, what we liked about Will Mitchell running the game. It's actually a really good cross-section of what made the 7th Sea such a wonderful game to play. I hope we return to it in the future. And as we come to the very last week of the very last month of this calendar year, we have one last finale to share with you. Return to us on Thursday to the finale of Derek Burrow's Kagagami High. We've survived a full year at school at Kagagami High, and as we move into the month of Marpril, it's a real month that's mentioned in the game, we won't just have to survive the school year, we'll have to survive the end of the world. It's a bonkers finale to a bonkers year. Here on the Terrible Warriors, Kakagami High concludes on Thursday. And of course, the Cambridge Chronicles, our spin-off podcast, continues to release new episodes out every Friday. You can go subscribe to that show over at terriblewarriors.com/Cambridge Chronicles. I think in the new year, we're going to have to give that show its own Twitter account. And if you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more and you'd like to be involved in the creation of the show, well, that's what our Patreon account is for. Over at patreon.com/terriblewarriors, you can become a named NPC in future games. You will get postcards sent to you in the mail. You might even get to sit around the table and roll dice with us. In the new year, on the Terrible Warriors, we're changing things up a little bit with the schedule release. Instead of alternating campaigns, all playing all at the exact same time, and you not being able to really follow along what's going on with the story until they're all completely done, and then listening to them all in one big go at the end of that 2-month batch, Well, we're just gonna do one story at a time. That makes a little bit more sense, a little easier to advertise. I thought so too. Starting in January, we return to Star Trek Adventures with Modifius's living campaign. And the USS Horizon is sent on a convoy. The convoy of SE-117 launches in January. Oh, not launches, I should say, sets course in January. And to help keep things a little bit more simple and bring up the quality of the show, there will only be episodes out every Tuesday, starting in the new year. So, January is Star Trek Adventures. In February, we will be setting off into a new game called Our Last Best Hope. And in March, you voted for it, we're playing Mouse Guard. And in April, we're going to return to Star Trek Adventures again as we continue through the living campaign. Hey, that gives you a nice roadmap of what the new year is going to look like here on the Terrible Warriors. One campaign each month, one episode each week, and of course the Cambridge Chronicles are still happening every Friday. Follow us on Twitter at Dice Warriors if you want to know what's going on. Hang out on Discord if you want to tell us what is going on. And today's Terrible Warriors and your defenders of true love, yes, even Dirk, Derek Burrow, Justin Ecock, Bree Poisonne, and Will Mitchell. And a special thanks to Mike Dodd for his first 3 episodes. Get well soon, Mike. Can't wait to have you back at the table. And until next time on the Terrible Warriors, we'll meet you back at Kakagami High on Thursday. I don't know how to sign off on this. That was a weird way to sign off. Bye.